Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So if you've been playing Plus One Speed Keyboard Escape for a while, you probably think you've already seen everything the game has to offer. You know where the treadmills are, you've beaten the worlds, you've collected a bunch of items, and maybe you've even reached insane amounts of speed. But what if I told you that there are still so many hidden secrets that most players completely miss? So today we're going to uncover every hidden secret I could find in Plus One Speed Keyboard Escape. From secret mechanics that the game never explains, hidden locations, little details that can actually help you progress faster, rare interactions, and even a few things that almost nobody seems to talk about. Some of these are incredibly useful, while others are just really cool Easter eggs that make you appreciate how much effort the developers put into the game. I even found a few secrets that genuinely surprised me because I've been playing this game for quite some time now and I had absolutely no idea they existed. So if you think you already know everything about the game, this video might just change your mind, so make sure to watch until the very end because the last few secrets are probably the craziest ones in the entire game. And I can almost guarantee you've never noticed at least one of them, so if you end up learning something new, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. So now let's jump into every hidden secrets in Plus One Speed Keyboard Escape. So for the first one, let's talk about secret code. So as the game continues to receive more updates in the future, the developers have started making codes much more rewarding than before. Instead of only giving a little bit of speed, some codes includes powerful boosts, exclusive treadmills, limited time rewards, and enough progression to help you skip a huge portion of the early game grind. If you're just starting out, these rewards can help you catch up much faster, and even if you're already a high-level player, free boosts are still free boosts. They'll always make you progress even quicker. The biggest mistake players make is only searching for codes when they first join the game. After that, they completely forget that new updates almost always come with a brand new code. The developers usually release them to celebrate milestones, major updates, bug fixes, or even special events, which means you're constantly missing free rewards if you never check. It literally takes less than a minute to redeem them, but the value you get in return can save you hours of grinding. Another thing I recommend is redeeming every active code immediately, even if you don't think you'll need the rewards right away. You never know when a code is going to expire, and once it's gone, it's usually gone for good. There have been already a plenty of limited time codes that new players can no longer claim simply because they waited for so long. So if you ever see a new code posted anywhere, don't tell yourself you'll redeem it later, just do it immediately. And honestly, this is probably one of the easiest secrets on today's list because it requires almost no effort at all. You're spending less than a minute typing in a few words, but in return, you're getting completely free rewards that can make your progression much easier. So every single time a new update drops, make it a habit to check for new codes before you start grinding. You never know when the developers will release one of the best freebies in the entire game. You can see on the screen are the active codes as of the moment, so make sure to redeem them now. The next secret is honestly one of my favorites because it's actually something that almost every player walks past without even realizing it. If you're the type of player who immediately runs straight to the finish line every single time, there's actually a very good chance you've already missed several hidden collectibles throughout the game. That's because almost every world has secret items tucked away in places that most people never think to check. The developers love hiding collectibles behind buildings, inside tiny corners, at the very edge of the map, or in areas that don't even look accessible at first glance. Since everyone's focused on getting faster and reaching the next world as quickly as possible, these hidden locations are often completely ignored. But if you take just a few minutes to explore instead of speedrunning everything, you'll be surprised of how many secrets you can actually find. A perfect example is the hidden trophy in World 2. Most players don't even know it exists because it's hidden in a secret area that requires you to become tiny before you can enter. So if you don't know the mechanic, you'll actually probably run past the entrance hundreds of times without ever noticing it. But once you shrink yourself and head inside, you'll discover a hidden trophy waiting for you. It's one of those secrets that feels really satisfying to find because the game never directly tells you it's there. Moments like these are why I always recommend exploring every world after an update instead of immediately rushing to the end. Check behind every structure, walk along the edges of the map, and interact with anything that looks even slightly suspicious. Sometimes the smallest opening or the most random looking corner can lead to a hidden collectible or a secret room. You never know what the developers have hidden, and honestly discovering these secrets yourself is one of the most fun parts of playing the game. The next hidden secret is something that can completely change the way you play the OBs of the game, especially if you're trying to finish worlds as fast as you can. Most players think there's actually only one correct path through every obstacle, so they simply follow whatever is directly in front of them, jump here, land there, then move on the next platform. But what a lot of people don't realize is that some obstacle sections actually have hidden shortcut paths. These shortcuts are not marked by arrows or signs, and the game never tells you they exist. Instead, they're hidden along the sides of obstacles, on tiny platforms that are easy to miss, or in small gaps where you can actually jump around the obstacles instead of going over every single platform. So if you are not paying attention, you'll probably never even notice them because they're designed to blend into the map. At first, saving just 2 or 3 seconds might not sound like a big deal, but once you start doing multiple runs, racing other players, or trying to unlock new worlds as quickly as possible, those few seconds begin to add up. Taking the faster route every single run can actually save you a surprising amount of time, especially in the later worlds where the obstacle courses become much longer and more difficult. This is why you'll sometimes see experienced players finish an obby way faster than everyone else, even though they don't seem to be moving much faster. It's not always because they have more speed, they simply know where the shortcuts are, they already know which jumps can be skipped, which corners can be cut, and which side paths let them avoid the entire sections of the course. So the next time you're running through an obstacle course, don't just follow the obvious route, look around, experiment with different jumps, and don't be afraid to test edges of the map. Sometimes the faster path is not the one right in front of you. The developers have hidden several shortcuts routes throughout the game, and once you learn them, you'll never want to take the normal path again. Now, this next secret is something I genuinely wish I knew when I first started playing because it would have saved me so much time. When I was a beginner, I made the exact same mistake that almost everyone else makes. I keep thinking maybe I'll just get a little more speed before I rebirth, so I'd keep grinding and grinding and grinding, trying to squeeze out every last bit of speed before finally pressing the rebirth button. Turns out that was one of the biggest mistakes I could have made. Because the truth is, in most cases, the faster you rebirth, the faster you actually progress. Every rebirth increases your multiplier, which means every second you spend grinding after that becomes much more valuable. So instead of waiting forever to hit some huge speed milestones, it's usually far more efficient to rebirth as soon as possible. The extra multiplier quickly makes up for the speed you lost, and before you know it, you're back to your previous speed, but now you're earning speed much faster than before. I honestly learned this the hard way. Looking back at my early gameplay, I wasted so much time trying to reach crazy amounts of speed before rebirthing because I thought that was the smart strategy. But after experimenting with more frequent rebirths, I realized my overall progression became way faster. I was unlocking worlds sooner, getting back to my old speed in a fraction of the time, and reaching new milestones much quicker than I ever did before. Of course, there are situations where you might want to stay a little longer before rebirthing, especially if you're close to unlocking something important. But as a general rule, don't be afraid to rebirth. So many new players avoid it because they hate seeing their speed reset, but that reset is actually what helps you become stronger in the long run. So if you're currently sitting there thinking, maybe I'll just rebirth later, this is your sign to stop waiting. Trust me, I made that mistake, so you don't have to. Once you start rebirthing more efficiently, you'll notice just how much faster your progression becomes throughout the game. So the next secret thing is something I don't think enough players talk about, especially when it comes to spending Robux wisely. Whenever someone asks what they should buy first, almost everyone immediately says, get a better treadmill. And while treadmills are definitely important, there's another upgrade that a lot of players completely underestimate, the speed multiplier. I'll admit I used to be one of those players too. I thought the only thing that I really mattered was getting the strongest treadmill, which is the admin treadmill, as soon as possible. So every time I had Robux to spend, I'd immediately look at treadmills and ignore everything else. But after finally trying the high tire speed multipliers myself, I realized just how big of a difference they can actually make. The secret is that speed multipliers and treadmills work together. A stronger treadmill helps you gain speed faster, but once you combine it with the high tire speed multiplier, every bit of speed you earn becomes even more valuable. So instead of only increasing one part of your progression, you're boosting your entire grinding process. That's why players with a decent treadmill and a strong multiplier can sometimes progress much faster than someone who only owns the admin treadmill. I actually noticed this myself when I bought the Tire 8 speed multiplier. At first, I was not expecting a huge difference because I thought the treadmill would be doing most of the work, but almost immediately I started leveling up much faster than before. My speed kept climbing at a rate I was not used to, and it really opened my eyes to how powerful multipliers are once you pair them with good treadmill. So if you're planning to spend Robux in the future, don't put all your budget into treadmills alone. So think of it as building a combo. A powerful treadmill gets you started, but a high tire speed multiplier takes that progression to another level. When you use both together, you'll reach new world, rebirth faster, and unlock content much more quickly than if you only focus on upgrading one of them. It's one of those upgrades that easy to overlook because it is not as flashy as buying a brand new treadmill, but once you experience the difference for yourself, you'll understand why so many endgame players consider speed multipliers one of the best investments you can make in the game. And that's every hidden secret I wanted to share with you guys. Hopefully you learned something new, because honestly, even after spending so much time playing the game, I still keep discovering things that I never noticed before. That's one of the reasons I enjoy this game so much. There's always another shortcut to find, another hidden collectible to discover, or another strategy that makes your progression even faster. Now, I have a question for all of you guys. Did I miss any hidden secrets? If there's something you know that was not mentioned in the video, let everyone know down in the comments, because I'd love to make a part 2 featuring secrets from you guys as well. So who knows, maybe there are still mysteries in this game that none of us have discovered yet. So if this video helped you out in any way, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you never miss any future videos. I'm constantly covering new updates, hidden secrets, guides, codes, and testing overpowered items, so you definitely don't want to miss what's coming next. So thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!